Imagine waking up every single day with that gnawing feeling deep inside, the one that whispers you're stuck, boxed in by the very systems that promised freedom and opportunity. You're a founder, an investor, a leader. You know what it's like to carry the weight of impossible expectations, to hustle endlessly, and yet somehow, the ladder you're climbing keeps shifting beneath your feet. Venture capital, the hallowed gateway to growth, the hope of every dreamer, it's sold as the golden ticket. But look around. The reality is raw. The endless charades of pitch decks, the ruthless gatekeepers, the soul-crushing terms designed to protect power, not passion. How many brilliant ideas have vanished because the key players couldn't see beyond their rigid worldviews? How many groundbreaking visions have been strangled by legal jargon, dilution fears, and misaligned incentives? If you've ever felt, even for a fleeting moment, that VC funding is more prison than launchpad, then you're not alone, and that feeling is real. Here's the brutal truth nobody talks about. The current VC model isn't broken because of bad intentions. It's broken because it's a system built to serve cycles, not people. To reward sameness, not daring. To propel patterns, not pioneers. Every handshake in those boardrooms is weighed against risk and spreadsheets, which means the radical, the misunderstood, the rare, and the wildly original don't stand a chance. This is a system designed for comfort zones, and comfort zones are killing us, killing innovation, killing autonomy, killing the very fire that sparked you to start this journey in the first place. But what if the answer isn't to keep banging your head against this wall? What if the future is actually in something far more powerful, far more human? What if global partnerships, not VC firms, could be the real catalyst to fueling your dream? Imagine alliances formed not out of power plays, but out of purpose. Imagine a network so fiercely committed to your success, so aligned with your vision, it propels you forward on a rocket fueled by collective brilliance, not diluted promises. This isn't some wistful idea. It's a revolution waiting to ignite. Because the world is already shifting beneath our feet. Borders fade, old alliances crumble, new opportunities grow where unlikely forces collide, connected, powerful, and free from the chains of worn-out structures. The kind of partnership that goes beyond money, where trust, shared values, and radical collaboration become the currency. When unlike minds come together, when the brilliant rarity of individuals meet without filters or hierarchies, that's when real power is unleashed. So, don't think small. Don't settle for crumbs just because the system tells you that's all you deserve. Think about weaving webs that span continents, time zones, cultures, and expertise. The right people, in the right positions, linked by a shared vision so intense it leaves no room for idle doubts or bureaucratic nonsense. This is about more than money. It's about freedom. Freedom from toxic deals that drain your soul and your stake. Freedom from having to justify your dream to someone who will never truly see your fire. Freedom from isolation, from being boxed into someone else's playbook. When you partner globally, you tap into a living network, a pulse that beats with purpose, urgency, and unrelenting belief. This network is made up of the few who refuse to accept the status quo, who burn with the desire to remake reality, who choose collaboration over competition. When you connect with these few, something fierce happens. Ideas spark, barriers fall. New markets open, resources flow, heartbeat quickens, and you find yourself in a circle that fuels your ambition with a raw, electric energy unlike anything VC ever dreamed of. Here's the kicker. These partnerships aren't born overnight, and they aren't about quick wins. This is a long game. A patient, deliberate cultivation of relationships that grow deeper, stronger, and more valuable with each passing day. It's about being selective, ruthless even. You don't just partner with anyone. You partner with those rare people who see the world as you do, who know that comfort is the enemy of greatness, who aren't afraid to stand divergent, to challenge the norm, to rewrite the rules of engagement. When you do that, you don't just build a business, you build a legacy. You craft a force so alive, so adaptive, so resilient, it can survive the worst storms and soar through the best opportunities. And here's something almost nobody tells you. In these global partnerships, control isn't about ownership. It's about sovereignty. Your will and vision are your weapons, sharpened by allies who respect your edge and fuel your mission. They don't want to own your dream. They want to see it realized. This flips the whole script. Suddenly, you're not negotiating with giants who see you as just a deal size. You're uniting with equals who understand that the best way to grow is to empower one another. Suddenly, the space around you is not a battleground for survival, but a crucible of creation. Every connection, every conversation, every exchange builds momentum towards something greater than profit, something enduring. But this isn't for the comfortable or the complacent. It's for those who know that the biggest risk is not to risk at all. For those who feel the quiet rage inside every time they see brilliant ideas crushed by inertia. For those who refuse to settle for shortcuts that sacrifice their soul. If this is you, then keep listening. Because the world as you know it is cracking, and the pieces are falling into place for something unprecedented. You're part of a generation that doesn't accept borders, labels, or gatekeepers. You stand on the edge, burning hotter with every second. And the only question left isn't about if, but when, you'll seize this chance to break free. The question isn't just, could global partnerships beat VC funding? It's how soon can they? And what will you do when that future lands at your doorstep? Already, visionary founders are bypassing traditional tunnels. Investors with courage are scouting partnerships that defy geography and convention. Together, they're creating ecosystems where collaboration trumps control, where transparency replaces opacity, where human connection crushes cold contracts. This transformation isn't about abandoning capital or growth, but about reclaiming both on your own terms. You don't need to be a lone wolf trapped by the outdated game. You can join a movement that harnesses the radical potential of the few exceptional individuals the world has ignored for too long. A movement that builds new scaffolding where freedom is built in, where diversity doesn't cause conflict but sparks innovation. A movement where your unique brilliance is not just tolerated but celebrated and amplified. Imagine partnerships powered by trust so deep, they turn strangers into family. Families of founders and funders who burn with the same fire and move as one unstoppable machine. Look around. This isn't some distant fantasy. It's already happening. Networks are connecting continents across time zones, sharing risk, reward, skills, and vision in ways that old VC firms can't match. These partnerships have agility, passion, and hunger on their side. A hunger to reshape the future by any means necessary. And here's the biggest truth of all. By embracing these global partnerships, you reclaim your autonomy. You decide your path. You redefine what success looks like. You become the master of your own fate. You unlock potential that no VC fund could ever own or control because it lives in you, and the rare, fiercely loyal network you build around you. So, strip away every illusion and false promise you've been fed about what funding and growth must mean. Strip away the fear that you must sacrifice your vision to fit their mold, or shrink to suit their appetite. There's a new game, a new tribe, a new way forward. It's bold, it's raw, it's unstoppable. Global partnerships are not just an alternative. They are the beginning of a new era where power flows from connection, courage, and uncompromising authenticity. An era where founders and investors reshape reality not with term sheets, but with trust and transformation. If that fire inside you hasn't been extinguished, then this is your call to action. To reject the tired rules, to gather the rare few who burn as you do, to step beyond the system and create a future where the exceptional don't just survive, they thrive. Because at the end of the day, it's not about funding. It's about freedom. The freedom to dream bigger, move faster, and live on your own terms. To not just build a company, but to build a movement. A movement powered by the rarest, wildest, most brilliant voices across the globe, united as one unstoppable force. This is your moment. This is your rebellion. This is where the world truly changes. Not with money alone, but with the power of people who refuse to be ruled. So look outward, look global, and get ready to claim what is rightfully yours. A future made by the few, for the many.